Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hello, my name is Silver. I'm an intuitive psychic and I post true crime tarot videos as well as an occasional pick a card. We're going to be revisiting the case of Stefan Sterns. He abused Jenn Soto for years. There's lots of CSAM that have been found on his phone, as well as he ended up taking her life. We're not really going to be getting into that story because we've already gone over that before. Unfortunately, recently he was offered a plea deal that nobody asked for, and it's left us feeling really confused and really upset. I want to take a look at why was this plea deal even offered? When we had so much evidence, why was it even offered? What is the point? I also want to take a look at how is Stefan Sterns feeling? What is he thinking right now? Does he feel like he won, like he came out on top? Because quite honestly, I feel like he quote unquote won. I definitely don't feel like justice has been served. And to make everything worse, Jenn Soto, Jenn Soto's mother, didn't even show up. She didn't make a victim impact statement and she didn't show up. And it seems like she's continuously putting herself and Stefan Sterns above Maddie even after she is gone. So we're going to be taking a look at all of those different things. I also want to know what Jenn Soto thinks about the plea deal and everything going on. And I also want to take a look at what does the future hold for Jenn Soto? Is she ever going to be held accountable, or is that just a lost cause? Everything in this video is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. As usual, I'm going to cleanse my space and my cards and myself. Also, really quick, I want to mention while I'm putting on my protection oil, if you're not following me on TikTok, definitely go follow me on TikTok. I've been posting some like shorter versions of true crime videos, but they've been requests from other people. And like I will do requests on like certain, like I guess well-known cases, but recently it's just been people having their own personal, like personally known cases that they're feeling like they don't have answers on. So it's been really nice to have these people who are like specifically dealing with these unknowns like reach out and ask me to do a reading on it. I've been really honored to like help and do that for these people, and it's been really appreciated. So if you by chance have somebody or a situation that you know that is kind of true crime related and there are no answers, you can hop on over to my TikTok and leave a request and I will probably get to it. Okay, now let's go ahead and just jump right into the reading. So the first thing I'm going to be taking a look at is just how Stefan Sterns is feeling overall right now. So this first card I'm going to pull is for him. We have the Nine of Swords in reverse. This second card here is going to represent like kind of how he's feeling about the plea deal itself. The Hierophant reversed. And then this next card is going to be like, I want to know what he feels like a future plan, or just what he perceives about his future. Not necessarily reality, but how is he perceiving his future? Knight of Swords in reverse. Okay. So 2 sword cards on the outside and the Hierophant in the middle. I'm actually going to start out with this one, because this one is representative of how he feels because of the plea deal itself. With the Hierophant coming here in reverse, this usually means like almost like a rebellion type of energy. It's like doing something in your own way, not in the normal standard way. And that would make sense that he's feeling this way about it. He's like, I didn't do what was hoped for. I didn't do what was expected of me, and I kind of got away with it. And he almost feels like a little rebellious, like he got away with it type of energy. And that would make sense why he himself is the Nine of Swords in reverse, because this usually represents a moving past or a letting go of anxiety, of depression, of overthinking. So while he's putting up this facade of, I'm so sad, I'm so heartbroken, everything's so hard, this is such a horrible deal, internally he's like, oh, this is like a weight off my shoulders. I am not super stressed anymore because I get to kind of live comfortably and I am not on death row. So One thing that I would like to point out with this that's just kind of like coming to my mind, there's another creator I watch, and his name is True Crime with Strategic Eyes. He's incredible. Definitely go check him out. But he when I was watching a video of his on this situation, he said something that really stuck out to me, and it was the fact that like he literally just gets to do what he has been doing, which is nothing. He didn't have a job. He wasn't really good for anything, and he just sat alone in a dirty room. Like, that's what he did. And he's basically going to be doing the same thing in prison. So I think he feels very relieved that he can just keep existing in the same way he was, just in a different area with maybe a little bit more rules. Next, we have the Knight of Swords, though, in reverse. And for this card coming up for how he is perceiving his future, I think he is worried about how it's going to progress. So right now, he's feeling free of anxiety. He's feeling like he got away with it and like he did this in his own special way. And with the Knight of Swords in reverse, this usually represents like really fast thinking or impulsive action, and unclear thinking as well. So I just feel like he thinks as time goes on, like, yes, he's getting away with this for now, but I think he's worried for his overall interaction or safety or whatever it may be, maybe even living situation in the future to come. Okay, so I would like to know, why give him the plea deal? Like, what is even the point? They had so much evidence against him. So, okay, I want to pull 3 more cards. We'll go from there. First, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Next, we have the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. And then next we have the 7 of Wands in reverse. Okay, they wanted to give him this plea deal because it was going to be easier than not doing it. That's simply what it is. The Knight of Pentacles, this is like progress forward. It's determination. It's feeling motivated and just having ideas. And the Pentacles are related to the physical things in our life. So right now, to me, this is showing me like less time spent on this, less money spent on this. It is a convenience thing for them, because the 6 of Pentacles too, this represents like a give and take, a transaction. So they're wanting to balance things out so it doesn't feel like they're putting more resources, more time, more money into the situation than what they feel would be worth it. So quite honestly, they did not value Maddie's life over the convenience of offering him the plea deal. And with the 7 of Wands, this is literally him and them like no longer having to fight, no longer having to push through and like really defend themselves and stand up for everything. Like, they genuinely felt like, I guess it was going to be a waste of time. So they offered the plea deal because now it's all easier on everybody else besides Maddie and the people who are really hurt by her passing. So that's really annoying and frustrating. Okay. Next, I want to know, what is Jenn Soto thinking about all of this? How does she feel about what just happened? Okay. We had a lot of cards come out. This is not the plan, but I'm going with it. I'm trusting it. Here we have the King of Pentacles, the 3 of Wands, the Moon card, the Lover's reverse, Page of Pentacles, 9 of Cups, the Chariot in reverse. Overall, and I'll get into the details in a second, but overall, she is very thankful for this outcome. So we have the King of Pentacles over here. This represents a sense of like security and stability and feeling like you are more in control of your life. To me, this almost feels like it's like, oof, the pressure might be off of me a little bit. That's what I feel like she's thinking. The 3 of Wands here, it feels like she's like, okay, this is said and done. I'm now already started this new chapter of like, I can hopefully just move on. That's really sad. But this is a card of like, it's the next chapter. It is the start of the next chapter. Where are we going? So That's what this is telling me. We have the Moon card and the Lovers card in reverse coming up here, and these two to me are connected because the Moon can represent anxieties and fears. It also represents our subconscious mind. And with the Lovers card being in reverse, this is that natural detachment, that natural pulling away from Stefan. I mean, they're not in contact anymore, and at least not to our knowledge, and they probably won't ever be. And I feel like there's like a fear of like letting go of that, of separating herself from him. But this is also a card of choices. And so while I feel like this is something that she's going to internally battle, because I think unfortunately she will always put him over Madeline no matter what, I think that's something that's going to be difficult for her, but I do believe that she is choosing to see this as it's a new opportunity. This is a new chance for me to move forward with my energy, with my time, with myself, and create something new for myself. That's what this card is telling me. And then we have the Nine of Cups. This is about emotional fulfillment and satisfaction, like a dream come true. And this card is here because of the Chariot card in reverse. And the reason I'm saying that is because this card in the reverse represents like things not following through or like delays. And I feel like she genuinely is relieved that this trial didn't follow through, because it was only going to raise more concerns, more questions about her involvement in everything that took place. So, alrighty. Next, that was a lot of cards. Okay. Next, I want to know, what does the potential future hold for her being held accountable? I want to know what that looks like. So yeah, let's just go. Okay, these three cards. The Empress, here, I'll just put it down here. The Empress, the Five of Wands in reverse, and the Judgment card in reverse. At this point in time, I don't see her being held accountable at all. The Empress card in reverse represents like that lack of motherly energy, that lack of nurturing energy. This one would represent her. And yeah, this is just showing where she's at and who she is. And the Five of Wands over here is representative of like the actual potential of her being held accountable for something. And when this card's in the reverse, it's like conflict avoidance. So no, that is not going to be faced. And the outcome is the Judgment card in reverse. So I feel like this is her not being judged on by a jury. It's not being judged on a more like, what am I trying to say? Like official legal level. So she'll probably be judged by all of us continuously, but not in the way that we had hoped for. So that's actually super frustrating. That's super frustrating. And in my last readings, when this was going to trial, I really did see that it was going to point some more fingers, and in a very long and complicated way, she would have been held accountable, at least for something. I'm not really seeing that be possible anymore. That's really frustrating. Okay, so I just want to know, is there any one last thing that I should know? Or any one last thing that all of us should know? Oh. Okay, we have the Justice card. We have the Ten of Pentacles. Okay. And then the Three of Cups. Okay, so, ooh, this is a huge message to like, don't give up. Don't totally give up. Justice is going to be served. Like, this, literally, this, like, things are going to balance out, okay? So maybe it's not in the way that we expect, but things are going to balance out. Here we have the Ten of Pentacles. This represents harmony and like fulfillment. And when this card is coming up here, this is showing me like in relation to justice, right? So in relation to perhaps Maddie herself. Ooh, yeah, Maddie herself for real. I feel like there's going to be closure in some way for her. Maybe we won't see it or we won't understand it. I'm not quite sure about that aspect of it. But to me, this is telling me like for Maddie, like she is okay. So even though we're all pissed off by all of this, like she is okay and she's going to be okay. She always will be okay. And the things are going to take place in a way to where she feels that closure. She feels that harmony of where she's at. She's at peace. And with the Three of Cups here, this is literally a card of a celebration. So while I feel like this is representative in two ways, this is letting us know that even though in our physical realm, justice may not look like it's been served, it almost feels like because of the public scrutiny, in a way it has. And I feel like she's very proud and thankful for us people holding Jenn and Stefan accountable in the way that she had hoped for. And I feel like that's celebratory for her. And then I also feel that this is showing in a way like maybe we shouldn't give up, and maybe justice will be served in a different way further. Maybe prison justice will be served for Stefan, or maybe some unexpected piece of evidence comes up where Jenn will be looked at further. But that's just not in the current energy right now. So let's just take this message as don't lose hope yet, and Maddie is okay. So now that I got that out of the way, I just want to ask my dowsing rods a few questions. So let's get into it. Okay, let's go ahead and ask some questions about this horrible situation. So I would really like to know about that last message of not giving up hope. Was that an accurate interpretation? Please cross for yes and move apart for no. Thank you. Okay, can you tell me why Jenn Soto was not at the trial? Cross for yes, move apart for no. Is that something that I can figure out? Yes. Okay. All right, I'm gonna reset. Okay. Was Jenn Soto not at the trial because she was fearful of maybe who she would encounter? Cross for yes, move apart for no. Yes, that's like part of it. Okay, was Jenn Soto worried about being criticized even further if she were to show up to the trial? Cross for yes, move apart for no. Not exactly. Is there a legal reason why Jenn Soto didn't show up to the trial? Cross for yes, move apart for no. Yes, maybe. Was Jenn Soto advised by her lawyers to not show up to the trial? Cross for yes, move apart for no. This one is more yes. Is this because the potential opportunity for it making her look more guilty? Cross for yes, move apart for no. Yeah. Okay. So she's advised by her lawyers to not go, so she didn't go. Honestly, I guess I can't say what I would do if I were in that position, but I could assume. And I think I'd still go. If I actually was innocent and I actually loved my child and I actually didn't give them up for funsies to a predator, I would still be there fighting for my kid. So, I don't know. That just makes her look more guilty, in my opinion. But what do I know? Okay, will Jenn Soto ever be held accountable for what she did to Madeline? Cross for yes, move apart for no. It's like a lot of people are holding her accountable. Be more specific. Okay. Will Jenn Soto ever legally be held accountable for what she did to Madeline? Cross for yes, move apart for no. It's like maybe. We can't answer that right now. Is something potentially in the works? Okay. You can't really answer that question. Got it. Is Stefan Sterns going to face prison justice at any point? Cross for yes, move apart for no. Okay. A little bit. Does this mean he's just going to get the occasional beat up? Cross for yes, move apart for no. You only want to kind of answer these questions, maybe because it's stuff you don't actually know. I think you're just giving me the like probable. Okay, I feel like that's all the questions that I can ask here for now. I feel like we got some pretty good insight on where things are standing currently with Stefan and Jenn Soto. And I guess we shouldn't give up hope completely because Madeline is safe in heaven and she's having like a good old time, and she sees how much we all care about her so much, and I believe in her eyes that is justice. And we also shouldn't give up hope because maybe something else will happen further down the line. I want to thank you all for spending some time with me on my channel. Definitely let me know what you guys think in the comments. All opinions are welcome. I just ask that we be respectful. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.